Our mission is providing food, shelter, and hope through Christian love. We do that through 3 different programs. Our community soup kitchen is open 365 days a year and serves about 145,000 meals. We know that it's important because our guests consider that soup kitchen lunch to be their primary meal of the day. We also have a homeless shelter for men, and we have Project Cornerstone, which is our on-site residential recovery program for homeless men. Homeless people are just like the rest of us. Something has happened in their lives, though, that causes them to not have a place to live. So our job is not really to judge why they ended up homeless or why they're here, but to figure out what their next best step is. Our volunteers are really a significant part of what we do. We have over 3,000 volunteers that help and encourage our guests throughout the year. Hope is a word we use a lot here at Samaritan. Our guests talk about how they arrive here hopeless and then they leave here full of encouragement and hope.
You know, because of Samaritan and Cornerstone and God bringing me here to these programs, I'm sober now for going on 2 years. It'll be 2 years, September 19th. I've never been sober that long in my life. I would have thought that I'd never quit drinking. And 2 years, for me, you're looking at a miracle right now. I firmly believe that I am a miracle because I would have never thought that I would be able to live life without taking a drink.
I had big trust issues, really big trust issues. I'm not telling you guys about me. I don't know who you are. But then, here comes the spiritual aspect of it. Jesus moved around, and he told everybody about himself. He did everything for those downtrodden people, those people that's been walked upon. Samaritan taught me to do that, what y'all do for me, I need to do for others. And that's why I keep coming back.
We are so grateful to our donors, to our volunteers, through people who drop produce off at the back door. Every donation makes a difference here, whether it's a bag full of pennies or whether it is a large check or other type of donation. Stewardship of all of those gifts is very important to us, and that's why we stay mission-focused and mission-driven.
I never thought I could hope again, because the simple fact is, everything that I was getting was so negative that I never thought anything positive would come out of my life. Today, I have that trust. I have that hope. I'm not angry. I don't worry. I have a measure of peace. I say it again, you all saved my life. I would not be sitting here today if it wasn't for Samaritan Ministries and Project Cornerstone.
When I think back on my life, I never thought that I would be homeless. It was a real shock. At first I thought it was the end of the world and I wanted to die. I thought there was nothing left for me. There's hope and help for anybody that has these problems or any other kind, not just necessarily addictions. All they got to do is they've got to want it and they got to ask for it. I was so far down. I was spiritually and physically beat down, very much so, and I really didn't know what I'd stepped into when I came here. I thought it was the lowest point in my life, but I found out otherwise. It was the best decision with God's help that I ever made by coming here. It was a complete turnaround for what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't a step down. It was a hand up.
Good morning. I'm Jan Kelly, Executive Director of Samaritan Ministries. Thank you for joining us for Sam and Eggs 2020, a virtual testimony of hope. We're disappointed that we are unable to gather in person this year, but greatly appreciate your taking about 30 minutes this morning to join us virtually and hear how Samaritan continues to impact lives. I hope that as you watch this morning, you'll let people know you are attending this event through social media, as well as text your friends that are at your virtual table. We also hope that after this presentation, you will share this program with your wider network of friends through social media and email to let them know about all the important work that Samaritan Ministries is accomplishing. I want to thank our Benefactor sponsors for this event, HanesBrands, Bill and Kim Means, the Tierney Family, and Womble Dickinson. We are so grateful for their support and for all the sponsors and virtual recruiters who have made this morning possible. During this morning's program, I'll give you an update on operations at Samaritan during COVID-19. Then you'll hear a testimony from William P., a former Project Cornerstone guest. Jerry Enos, our board chair, will share his involvement at the ministry. And finally, Brenda Kearney, Samaritan board member and pastoral director at St. Peter's Church and World Outreach Center, will close our time together in prayer. Our mission at Samaritan is providing food, shelter, and hope through Christian love. Our ministry is Christ-centered, mission-driven, and guest-focused. As you saw in the video, Samaritan can be life-changing for our guests. Both Steve and Michael credit God and Samaritan for dramatically improving their lives. They both overcame addiction and today celebrate sobriety, permanent housing, and employment. The footage in the video was filmed before the impact of COVID-19 and shows a soup kitchen full of people and volunteers. Over the last 6 months, the typical day at Samaritan has come to look quite different from what you saw in the video, but the presence of God and His work through our ministry continues. Since the onset of the pandemic, Samaritan has implemented safety procedures to protect the health of our guests, volunteers, and staff, while continuing to meet the needs of some of the most vulnerable in our community. Each day, kitchen staff and 8 volunteers prepare a to-go lunch, providing a hot meal to hundreds of hungry people. Like you, we practice the 3 W's at Samaritan. We wear our masks, we stay at least 6 feet apart, and we wash our hands. Volunteers and staff go through daily temperature checks and health screenings. At night, our shelter guests also go through temperature and health screenings. We've reduced capacity in the shelter to create appropriate 6-foot distancing. Prior to COVID-19, our shelter beds were only about 2 feet apart. We've also invited our guests to stay inside during the day so that they can limit their exposure to COVID-19. The response from all shelters in Winston-Salem has been significant during the pandemic. The Continuum of Care has opened a special shelter for homeless people with underlying health concerns. Bethesda Center and City with Dwellings are working together to manage and provide programming for this shelter, and many others, including United Way, are working diligently to find permanent housing for these guests. Samaritan partners to provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner for this special shelter each day. One thing we know is that addiction doesn't stop for a pandemic, and therefore Samaritan's Project Cornerstone hasn't stopped either. We are celebrating 25 years of helping homeless men in recovery through this successful and powerful program. I'm excited to introduce William P. as our special guest, who will be interviewed by Samaritan's Assistant Director, Shante Fleming. William has been part of the Samaritan Ministries family for many years. He came to Samaritan in 1992, addicted to alcohol and drugs and living on the streets of Winston-Salem. His addictions consumed his life until he committed to making a change. He joined Project Cornerstone and got the guidance and support he needed for recovery. William recalls, "Everybody believed in me but myself." Today, William is celebrating over 21 years of sobriety. He still attends the weekly aftercare classes at Samaritan on Tuesday nights. He is a mentor to the men currently in the program and encourages them to believe in themselves. Welcome, William and Shantae.
All right, William, will you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is William Pickens. I'm 72 years old. I'm the oldest of 8 kids. My mom took care of us. She was our mother and father. You know, she didn't abandon us. She went to work as much as she could. But I had to kind of curve my childhood because I had to take care of my brothers and sisters. My main thing, I wanted to be an athlete, go to the major leagues, buy my mom a brand new home, and you know, stuff like that, all those kind of goals, them little dreams. I don't know what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a policeman, I wanted to be a cowboy, I wanted to be an athlete. I just wanted to be everything that fireman, anything that helped other people, you know, but it didn't work like that, but I was still able to live a normal, happy childhood. I had problems with jobs because of high blood, you know, but my mom, she took care of me. She looked after me. I was 36 years old when I stayed with my mom. I wasn't planning on going nowhere. But she told me I'm going somewhere. And then I got married. Okay. It lasted 3 months, and I went from there. I called myself getting back at her. I'll show you, I'll kill myself. I went out and started doing drugs with my friends. They had been, you know, hassling me about getting high, and so I did. And it went on and on and on up until I turned 50. And so when I got 50 years old, I said, that's enough. It's time for me to change. I went 30 days cold turkey. I had to still sleep with the guys that were doing drugs that I did drugs with, but I was determined I was through. So in February the 2nd, 1999, I went to Arca. I stayed there for 14 days. And after my 14 days was up, I didn't have nowhere else to go. All I was thinking about coming back on the streets, but my little brother, Larry Joe, he told me about this program down here. He said, try Cornerstone, that might help you a lot. Cause I said, okay. But I had the wrong intentions of how it worked. I thought you just come in here and rest. You know, I didn't think you had to go to classes and do all that kind of stuff and talk about yourself. Talk about myself to somebody else. Is you kidding? Oh, not me. They ain't their business, you know. But since my brother kept talking to me, he said, you say you won't change? I said, yes, I do. He said, well, you got to do what the program say.
So you came to Samaritan Ministries in 1992. So what were your plans when you came here?
Really, I had no plans. No destination of where I was going or going to do or nothing. I just came on the streets because that was my last hope, only hope. And when I got here, I was full of fear because I'd never been on the streets before. And I knew how it was, you know, when people take advantage of you when you don't. So I had to play like I knew what the streets was all about, and I didn't know nothing about the streets. But once I got here, a lot of people that I grew up with and knew and went to school with was out here. So that made me feel a little comfortable. And after a while, I started getting these little jobs. You know, that I found out they let you work. You know, people come up on Bethesda Center and pick you up and take you to work. And I got so many jobs that I got recommended for a lot of jobs because I was a good worker. But it turned out to be good with nobody coming in with no kind of plans or nothing. I left with a lot of things that I could do, you know, and it went on and on and on, and I fell in love with the program, you know, and I started seeing that it was working for me. It was telling me the truth about myself, and that's what I like, because I don't like to be too fakey. Now, I can be fakey, but I don't like too much fake. I like for you to be real with me. What did I decided? Well, maybe these people seeing a lot of stuff in me that I don't see in myself. And that's when I really started getting down to business. Started back coming every day. Used to get mad at the guys that was in the program with me, why they always promising you they gonna come back, and you never did see them. And this one friend, me and him was the only two that started coming back on a regular basis. And so that was my journey until my recovery, and it's been going on for the last 21 years.
So what got in the way of that dream of, you know, playing the sports professionally? When did the alcohol and the drugs actually come in? And then, you know, what made you say, I'm done with this lifestyle?
What came in between me, my normal lifestyle and this style was my marriage didn't work. That's when things started going kind of, my self-worth. I didn't think I was worth this and that. My friends, you know, peer pressure, putting the pressure on me, you know, telling me you ain't gonna be no athlete, you ain't gonna be no pro sports, come on here and drink with us and do this and do that. And so I did it so I could fit in. I just started drinking. So
what did Cornerstone actually teach you about addiction?
Addiction, it taught me no matter what I do or go through, I don't have to use. It taught me a lot. Cornerstone taught me a lot, and it's still teaching me. Yeah, I'm never too old to learn. It's still teaching me life. You know, because really when I came in Cornerstone, I just had a full of baggage. I was an angry man.
Why were you angry?
I don't know why I was so angry. Because for one reason, because some of the things I wasn't able to do and get what other people got. You know, I thought I deserved a little better. I was thinking God was just punishing me, but that's just how much I knew about God. You know, 'cause me and him wasn't too on a friendly basis. I didn't really know nothing about him until I came in Cornerstone. But by me not asking God for these things, what do I expect? I had to realize that he's the one, you know, he's the only one that can give me the things that I want and need. But I never did go to him because of the values and the morals that was taught to me when I was growing up. Don't trust nobody, be your own man, men don't cry, stuff like that. Don't ask for help. And that's why it was so hard for me when I came into Cornerstone asking for help.
Because Cornerstone was teaching you
the opposite of what
you learned
I learned growing up. They was teaching me that I need all that in order to get where I'm at, and help was the main thing. So that's like I said, yeah, I'm glad I came. I'm glad I came in recovery. So no telling where I would be.
Well, let me ask you this, because you said something amazing. You say it all the time, but you said that every group that have come through Cornerstone, you have met everybody. You've seen every group. You've worked with every counselor that has done Cornerstone.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, why do you keep coming back on Tuesday nights?
Because I don't want to use.
Oh.
I don't want to use.
That's powerful.
I want to keep what I have. You know, and I don't want to lose it. I'm getting old now, you know. I'm not a young chicken no more, you know.
So, William, how have you seen God working just at Samaritan in general?
In general, what I've seen God, outside of me in this program, I've seen God work miracles in here. I've seen him work in a lot of ways to suit the people that feed us, the volunteers that comes in here and spend their time with us. You know, they don't have to do that. But that's the love, you know, because I used to think, didn't nobody love. I thought all that love thing was a phony thing, you know. Nobody loved nobody, you know. But these people loved me when I moved out. I didn't have nothing when I moved out. But I could look at my house now and look at all that stuff that that those volunteers gave me, and I had to give some of it away because there was so much. That's my blessing, my gratitude toward God and the people that He put in my life. You know, I'm just tickled pink over, to tell you the truth. And I'm so happy I did this. I'm so happy I did it for real.
Recovery is about having joy.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I see tears of joy. So
Yeah.
it's okay to release them. So that's what recovery
I
is.
never thought about getting me to do this.
So that's how much we love you.
I know it,
That's how much we love you.
and I love y'all too.
And we know that you love each and every person that you come across in Cornerstone.
Yeah.
And that means a lot that you continue to give back.
Yeah. Boy. Just like my grandma said, men don't cry, that ain't true.
That's something else you
Men
learned
do
in
cry.
Cornerstone, right? That it was
Yeah.
okay to cry, right?
Men do cry.
Right. It was okay to cry in Cornerstone, right?
William just opened his heart and poured out a lot of history and a lot of experiences and things that really show you how Samaritan can change lives and save lives. And miracles really do happen here, and it's because of the guests, the volunteers, the supporters, all those things coming together with God in the middle of it. And it's just touched my heart. I hope it touches your heart this morning. He's one of many guests that we're able to help at the ministry because of your support. We're prepared to meet our guests where they are and give them the resources to have a better life. We see the potential in every person who walks through our doors, whether it's someone needing shelter or a family needing a meal in our soup kitchen. Fulfilling the very basic needs of food and shelter is our purpose. By doing small acts of kindness every day with extraordinary Christian love, we can be a hub for hope for our guests and our community. My wife Janet and I have been involved at Samaritan for many years. We've seen firsthand what a truly special place Samaritan is. Being able to witness the transformations of some of Samaritan's guests, like William, is quite a privilege. Samaritan is an example of God's kingdom on this earth, and I'm proud to support the ministry with financial gifts, volunteer time, and most importantly, prayer. Prior to the pandemic, I always enjoyed spending the night in the shelter as a volunteer on Tuesday nights with our men's group from St. Leo's Church. When you spend time with our guests, you see them as individuals. You hear their individual stories. You get to see and hear about lives being changed and lives being saved, not just for our guests, but also for our volunteers. You see why Samaritan is such a unique place. My experiences serving on the board and finance committee for the past 5 years have shown me firsthand how Samaritan takes financial stewardship of donations as seriously as it takes helping people. We strive to live within our means and keep expenses to our budgeted amount, and this year that's $1.6 million, which is up from prior year. And that's directly related to COVID-19. We had to add temporary staff members to help in the shelter and the soup kitchen to replace volunteers who were unable to serve at this time due to the pandemic. And we've had to purchase new supplies like paper plates and to-go boxes for each meal. And since we're serving about 10,000 meals a month, it adds up very quickly. And even with our increased COVID expenses, our efficiency is still very important to the ministry. We provide a meal in the soup kitchen for just $2.81. We provide a night of shelter, breakfast, and dinner for $27.74. I don't know anyone who can stay in a hotel for that amount of money, and no one appreciates it more than our homeless guests. As you consider your support today, I hope you'll remember how the ministry has continued to serve during these uncertain times. We've committed to fulfilling our mission with concern for the safety of our guests, volunteers, and staff. You can donate online now on the website or mail a check directly to Samaritan. And we know these times have been difficult, that budgets are stretched, so we appreciate any gift. Any gift is welcome, and any gift is helping change lives and save lives. However, if you haven't been impacted as directly or as severely by COVID, I hope you'll join me and prayerfully consider giving at our Good Samaritan Society level of $1,000 or more. You may not have thought about that level of giving before you joined our program today, but I hope that you are moved by William's story to dig a little deeper this year. You might consider even a monthly donation of $83.33 to reach that level of giving over the course of the year. Thank you for being here this morning and taking time to learn more about Samaritan Ministries. We are grateful for your prayers, your time, and for your gifts to feed hungry people and shelter homeless men in Winston-Salem.
The Bible says, "In everything give thanks." Thank you, Lord, for today's phenomenal event and that Samaritan Ministry has come this far by faith. We thank you for the provisions and generosity of many organizations, individuals, and prayers to fulfill the mission of Samaritan Ministries. We are grateful for support and financial gifts that have changed many lives, as confirmed by the testimony of William today. In the words of singer Ray Boltz, "Thank you for giving to the Lord. I am a life that was changed. Thank you for giving to the Lord. I'm so glad you gave." The guests of Samaritan Ministries are a reflection of this song because of the support of many of you. Thank you, donors, supporters, volunteers, and friends, for selflessly giving so the hand of the Lord could be seen and lives could be changed. We pray blessings upon everyone as we depart from this significant event, but not from the heart of God and the mission of Samaritan Ministries, providing food, shelter, and hope through Christian love. Amen.